Very good morning to dear students of class 8th. I welcome you all to this new class of social science. Now children, since we have completed chapter 1 in history, I am assured now that you people have understood the chapter. You people have gone through the questions and answers. If anything is missed, you have to note it down in your fair copies. Number 3, exercises. You all have been knowing this, that we have to do exercises in the books. So you need to see the answers and write the answers of those exercises in the books. Next, if anyone has not purchased the book yet, not a problem. You just need to write exercise 1, for example, true and false, number 1 true, second false, like this, to get your work done and you have the answers ready. Plus children, after completing all this, it is just a simple request that go through the chapter in all together, so that you have comprehended the chapter at a stretch, and then you can keep that chapter aside so that you can move with the next chapter. And that is how we are going to revise the chapters in short duration. So in today's class I am going to start with civics, chapter number 1, which is the Indian Constitution. Children, this chapter we all have been studying from class 6. If you remember, in class 6 we have studied this, but at a very small level. Then 7th also you people have studied this. So let us quickly see what the chapter has to talk about. In today's class I will make you aware of the introduction of this chapter. What is the purpose and objective of studying this chapter? Alright, so we have always looked at the Indian Constitution in classes 6th and 7th in our political or social textbooks. Have you ever wondered, children, why do we need a constitution? Or why we need a constitution, or been curious about how the constitution got written or who wrote it, since we have so many TV serials on the writer of Indian Constitution, Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar and all. So this instinct must have been occurring into everybody's mind, that what was the point of writing this constitution. Then in this chapter we will discuss both the issues and also look at the key features of Indian Constitution. Firstly, we will discuss what was the need to have the Indian Constitution, then who wrote it, right? And then in the third segment of the chapter, children, we will discuss the key features of Indian Constitution. Then each of these features is crucial to the working of democracy in India, and some of these will be the focus of different chapters in this book. So children, these key features are so significant that it is very crucial to the working of democracy in India. We will see how people of our country are getting conflicts in terms of the key features. Key features of the constitution enables us to have those specifications which a person should have living in a country. So children, this was the basic objective of studying the chapter, that what are the things we are going to study, and after studying the chapter you will be knowing these things very well, children. So now let us come that what is the need of writing this constitution. Before that, I will give you a short introduction to Indian Constitution. The Constitution of India is the longest written constitution in the world. Number 2, it is a set of rules by which government rules the country. See, every organization, every institution, that light is focusing a bit. So every organization, every institution, children, has some set of rules. Similarly, if you look at a country is such a big unit where so many people are living in, of so many different religious backgrounds also, children. Therefore, it is very important to have a constitution, because constitution is a set of rules by which the government rules the country. It is the supreme law of the land. So the constitution holds the topmost position of a country, children. Then, children, it came into effect on 26th of January 1950. Our constitution is based on the principles of democracy. Then socialism and secularism. Socialism, of socially interaction of the people, keeping in mind all the societies of the country. Number one is democracy. Children, you must be knowing the meaning of democracy. Democracy is a condition of the government when the government is for the people, by the people, and of the people. So democracy, socialism, and secularism. Secularism is very simple, where all the religions are given equal importance. So when the constitution was about to start, then these three factors were kept in mind. Democracy, seeing that this is a democratic country, so the rules of the constitution should be set accordingly. Socialism, keeping in mind the social aspects of the country. And the third, secularism, having equal weightage, having equal importance to all the religions prevailing in our country. I hope this introduction is clear to you all, children. And in the next class, I will take up the key features of the Indian Constitution. So for now, we will stop this, and the homework for you is to read the chapter and read the key features of Indian Constitution, whereas you need to see whether the previous work is completely done or not. So that's all for today's class. I hope the introduction is understood by you all. Thank you so much, children. Have a nice day.